COVID-19 and also my ER visit. And also I am in the same exact spot, same outfit, same everything as my last video. I'm filming a few videos today, so yeah, it probably looks pretty similar to you. But if you haven't seen my last video, go check it out. It's how I told my parents that I was pregnant, obviously before we knew it was twins. So yeah, I'm going to get started, basically how my day started. I was at work. I work in an animal hospital and I am on my feet for 12 hours a day. It was coming towards the end of my day. I had like random like cramping throughout the day, maybe like 3 cramps, like weird, like not necessarily painful, but like just a little uncomfortable cramping about 3 times throughout that day. I didn't really think anything of it. I thought, you know, I'm pregnant, that's life, get used to it kind of thing. And by this point I was about 7 weeks pregnant. Yeah, somewhere around there. So I had gone to the bathroom at work and I wiped and I saw blood. So instantly I started freaking out. I grabbed my phone, I went outside and I called my mom and she's like, okay, you know, don't freak out. Call your doctor and see what they say. So I called my OB and they basically said, you know, go to the hospital, go straight to the ER. So I left work and I called my boyfriend who was also at work and I'm like hysterically crying. I'm like, I'm having a miscarriage. Like I already know I've had a miscarriage before. Like I know what's happening. Like I'm having a miscarriage, but I have to go to the hospital. At this point, I really didn't like feel uncomfortable. I wasn't in pain. I was just bleeding. So I drove home. Ben left work. He came and got me from the house and we went straight to the hospital. We got to the hospital and we waited a while and they took me back. They did some blood work to check my HCG levels and then they also did a ultrasound just to kind of see how everything was. They also sent me to a room and they had started me on fluids just because, honestly, I don't really know the exact reasoning. I think they also gave me some sort of medication, but I really can't remember, which is probably not good, but yeah, they gave me some sort of medicine and fluids, I believe, and by this point, my family was out of state for something to do with my sister. So my sister and my parents were out of state and obviously they were very worried. They were like, we can go home now, like let us know. And I was like, no, it's fine. So it was me and Ben and then my mom had called her friend and she's like a second mom to me. So she had come as well to the ER and she was with us. So yeah, we had been waiting. We were in this room for quite a while. And then a doctor came in, or not a doctor, sorry, a nurse came in and he was like, hey, so I'm not sure if you're aware, but it's twins. And I was like, haha, like you're funny. Like, no, it's not. Because I thought it was ironic because when the girl was doing my ultrasound, you know, they're not allowed to say anything, especially because you're in the ER. And I was like, how many you see there? Because we were kind of thinking it was twins just because of like there's quite a bit of twins in my family. And you know, we were kind of like joking about it and we had actually had an ultrasound set for that Monday and I believe this was a Friday. So we had an ultrasound set for Monday because I'm like, hey, I think it's twins. And they're like, oh girl, trust me, like it's okay. Because my first ultrasound, they couldn't really tell, they said. So we literally had an ultrasound plan just to see if it was twins. So he's like, this nurse is like, oh my gosh, you didn't know? Like, that's so exciting. I never got to tell anyone that before. And I'm like, no, I'm like, you're joking. So like, it's not cool. And basically I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Like we're having twins. And I remember seeing a video on YouTube a while back. I honestly don't even remember who it was, but she had talked about how she thought she was having a miscarriage and she filmed the whole thing and then it wound up turning out that she was having twins. So I was like, this is like a weird twin thing, like it happens, like you bleed, you have two freaking babies inside of you. Like, your body is going through quite a bit. So they said my HCG levels were perfect for how far along I was. Each baby was measuring 6 weeks and 1 day. So, you know, being like around 7 weeks pregnant, having two, it's obviously normal. So I have the final report. They give you this like when you leave the hospital, just like your, like any lab work you had done when you were there. And they just give you like this thing. So yeah, it says that my HCG level was 10,757. And they said that, you know, it was positive, like, or that was good for how far along I was. So now I'm just gonna read you like exactly what this final report says. It says reason for exam, vaginal bleeding. It says first trimester pregnancy. It says the kind of equipment they use for my ultrasound. Then it says findings. The uterus measures this much, blah, blah. I'm not gonna like read you the exact measurement of my uterus. And it says how much the gestational sac measures. It says a yolk sac is noted within the gestational sac. 2 detected fecal poles. Fecal. I just said fecal poles. Oh my god, fecal is fucking shit. Wow. 2 detected fetal, is that how you say it? Yeah. Fetal poles are noted in the gestational sac. And then fetal pole A is, it says how much they measured. They were both 4 millimeters. Estimated age was 6 weeks 1 day. Cardiac activity is not documented. It says how much the other ovary measures. It says I had a cyst on my other ovary. And yeah, so it says impression. Twin intermittent pregnancy with an estimated gestational age, oh my god, sorry, I can't read, of 6 weeks 1 day. No fetal heart rate detected on the imaging made due to early gestation. Recommend follow-up. Several beta HCG level and pelvic ultrasound. So basically they told me, hey, your babies are in there for, you know, your levels. We can't see if they have a heartbeat because it's too early, but everything looked okay. They said the bleeding could be just, you know, a pregnancy thing. It could be like spotting. But they said, you know, make an appointment with your OB as soon as possible. You know, go tomorrow, you know, get checked, whatever. And yeah, they basically had said, you know, this doesn't mean a miscarriage won't happen, but it means currently you still have your babies there. So like currently you are okay. So I was extremely excited because I literally went in there thinking that I had like no more babies in me. And so yeah, we left, and me, Ben, and my mom's friend Cynthia were basically just freaking out. We were like, oh my god, we're gonna get huge, like I'm gonna be gigantic, we're gonna have 2 babies at the same time, like this is insane. But honestly, we were kind of excited, you know, especially because like you think the worst and then you get an extra baby, like you got blessed, like this is amazing. So right afterwards I called my mom and she was with my stepdad, and I was like, hey, you know, do you want to know why I was bleeding? And she was like, duh. And I was like, it's twins. And we had a joke that we were calling our baby Ting Ting. It was just a thing that we had started before we were even pregnant. So I was like, Mom, we have Ting Ting and Ling Ling. And she was like, oh my god, you're ridiculous. And she was just like, drink a lot of water and be healthy, you know, you're doing it for 2. and all this stuff. So yeah, we left the hospital. We were super excited. I, was still bleeding, but I wasn't in pain or anything. They said if it gets worse or whatever, come back, obviously. So the next day, I went to my OB like he said, and basically I had a doctor who wasn't my regular doctor, and it took us like 45 minutes to wait at the OB. And he was this doctor came in and he was just like, what do you want me to tell you? If you're having a miscarriage, you're having a miscarriage. Your body does that. And then I was like, okay, like I understand that, but like they told me to come, like get checked, whatever. Like their ultrasounds aren't as good. I think they wanted me to have an ultrasound here, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, we don't do ultrasounds today. I can check you. And he was like, are you having heavy bleeding? I was like, well, I feel like it's not super heavy, but it's not light. And he did he checked in there and he was like, that's not light bleeding. And that was kind of it. And, I was like, well, we found out it's twins. So, if it is a miscarriage, is there a chance of, just one or two, like, whatever. And he was kind of like, there's a chance of one. They were identical, so they were in the same sac. So that was kind of why I asked. Like, I know normally with twins you can lose one, but I didn't know if that could happen if they were together, if it kind of just like comes out together. So he said, it could be one. And then there was a girl in there with him who was a lot nicer than him. She was very like sympathetic. She was like, I know it's scary. She was like, this happened to me. My body absorbed a twin and I had a healthy baby. And I was like, oh my God, interesting. But, obviously we had hoped for both babies to be okay. But honestly, after the appointment, we had still been like, our babies are still in there. It's gonna be okay. We're doing good. So yeah, we went on with our day. We took off work. I was told to take it easy for a while. So I was off of work for a little bit. And yeah, we just kind of hung out, me and him, and we had twins. So he told his parents like, hey, it's twins, and they freaked out, but they were obviously happy that the babies were okay. And yeah, it was just a very crazy experience for us, and I think that nurse was extremely happy to tell us that we were having twins. And yeah, I really wish I had the ultrasound like pictures that they had when I was in the hospital, that showed it was twins. Obviously I don't have that. They said that I could call and get all my records sent over, but honestly I never did it because I forgot. But yeah, that is how I found out that I was 19 and pregnant with twins. Super crazy, especially the way we found out. I feel like most people just go into an ultrasound and they're like, oh, there's two, like, yay. But ours was like very dramatic because we didn't know what was gonna happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and please subscribe to see the next episode, whatever the heck this is, the next video on my 19 and pregnant story. And if you guys were ever pregnant with twins, please comment down below if you ever had bleeding, because I feel like I've heard this from someone else before where like it seemed like they were having a miscarriage, but it was just twins. So I'm honestly curious, and just like comment like 2 baby emojis down below if you've ever had twins, just because I know twins are like common. They're not like super rare, but I don't hear a lot about people having twins. So let me know if you have twins or if you're pregnant with twins, because I'm super curious. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.